Good morning, gang. Happy Monday morning. It's going to be a crazy day today. Interesting, at least. Let's put it that way. Uh, the snow hit last night, and so we've got about an inch on the ground here so far, but the heavy stuff is supposed to start around 7 a.m. this morning. So uh, I'm supposed to get like 6 inches of snow. We'll figure the area here is pretty much going to be closed for the day. So that's it. I ain't going anywhere anyway, so I'm not worried about it. Uh, but the interesting parts, it's MLK Day, right? That's actually, with this storm, actually turns out to be a decent thing. Schools and post offices and stuff, maybe some stores are closed anyway. So that'll keep less people on the road, and maybe we'll have a few less people stranded, injured, accidents, killed, whatever. So maybe there's a little blessing in here. The other part is today is the Iowa caucuses, and that ought to be quite interesting to watch tonight to see how things start coming in. Watching the media, Fox News, pushing Nikki Haley all over the place, because they're a bunch of never Trumpers anyway. They don't, Fox's board doesn't believe in doing what's right for the country. They just want to keep the money rolling in. It's going to be fun to watch them with egg on their face in the morning after Nikki Haley loses by 30 points. Ron DeSantis, we'll see. I don't think he'll drop out after tonight, but after New Hampshire, he's done. Nikki Haley's probably done after South Carolina. Once she gets crushed in her home state, she'll be like, okay, this ain't happening. God forbid you hear all the stories about people saying, oh, Trump should pick Nikki Haley as his running mate. Maybe not. I mean, she is a career quitter. Okay. You remember she quit the governorship of South Carolina. She quit being ambassador in the Trump administration, to the UN. When the going gets tough, Nikki puts her tail between her legs. We've got a president like that already. We don't need one. We don't need another one. Okay. We need somebody with a set of cojones who can actually make the tough decisions and do something that works. But it's MLK Day, right? And, judge people by the content of their character, not by the color of their skin. Okay. I'm hoping Iowans do that tonight. Judge people by the content of their character, not the color of their skin. I don't give a rat's ass if somebody's a black female or a white male or a Martian hermaphrodite, okay? It doesn't make a difference to me. I want to know what their policies are. I don't care about their personality, okay? What I care about is what they are going to do for the public, not what they are going to do for themselves. You look at Joe Biden. Joe Biden could care less about 335 million people. Joe Biden is only concerned about enriching himself. Okay? Nikki Haley could care less about the American people. All she cares about is enriching herself. Cut from the same cloth. Trump, on the other side, is already rich. He donated his entire paycheck from being president, right? Okay. He's not doing this for the money. He's not doing it for the grift. Do people like the personality? No. Don't care. Did you like John F. Kennedy's personality? I mean, hell, he was a serial philanderer. Okay. But, Kennedy was one of the most popular presidents ever, right? I don't care. It was the policies that I want. What are you going to do for the American people? Then you look at, on a smaller level, don't judge a person by the content of or by the color of their skin, judge them by the content of their character, right? This was something I ran across over the weekend. I thought it was kind of funny, but it's really telling to what the liberal, read also rhino, mantra is. Did you guys see the story in Canada, in Quebec, basically, where the police are now telling people not to take photos of porch pirates, the guys that drive around following the UPS truck or the FedEx truck and steal the packages off the porch, not to take photos of them because you're violating their privacy. Wait a minute, what about them violating my privacy, right? The privacy of my property, the privacy of my home, the privacy of what I purchased is none of your business, okay? That doesn't matter. You can't take pictures of them. When they use the bullshit answer of, well, we don't want amateur sleuths potentially misidentifying somebody or whatever. Okay. It's kind of just like the United States, where the criminals seem to have more rights than the victim. We've all heard stories about some guy breaking into a house and the homeowner shooting them or beating them with a baseball bat or whatever, and then the criminal sues the homeowner and wins, right? We've heard those stories that, oh, they shouldn't have done that. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't have hurt you in whatever capacity if you weren't in my house uninvited, right? But this is the liberal mantra, okay? This is also stuff Nikki Haley supports, by the way, okay? Rhino, that, criminals have rights too. No, criminals have rights to get the shit kicked out of them. So I got a theory on this one. If the criminals have more rights than the victim, the hell with shooting pictures of them. Just shoot them. Why not? Right? Hey, if the criminals have more rights than the victim, well, I guess now I'm the criminal and he's the victim, right? So I have more rights than he does. Yeah, I know it sounds ludicrous, okay? But that's the logic. That's the can't think past the tip of the nose. If somebody has the right to break into my house and I can't defend myself, if somebody has the right to steal property off my front porch and I can't go after them because the criminal has rights, screw it, then I'll be the criminal and he can be the victim, right? That's how far gone liberalism, communism, socialism is. These pink-haired, face-tattooed, nose-ringed idiots, their thought process. And you look at anything, it's like, it's funny though, you'll hear the liberals scream all the time about, oh, you're pro-life, you believe a baby can live, but then you also you believe in capital punishment and killing people. How screwed up is that? I've seen those comments too. And my answer is, yeah. I said, we believe in letting the innocent live and letting the guilty die. They shut up real quick when I say that too. Okay. Using logic, using common sense, using reason, having morals, having dignity, having respect for others are concepts that are completely foreign to a liberal. They don't understand them. They weren't raised with those ideals in their house. They didn't decide to do what's right in their life ever. Okay. It's just, poor me, poor me. If you have it and I want it, therefore I'm taking it. This is what we're going to end up fighting against, guys. Is you have a house, they want to take it, right? BlackRock, the World Economic Forum, pick one. We've heard the stories about they just want to take your house. Let's house immigrants in your house. We just want to take your house. Okay, it's for the betterment of whatever. No, tell you what, Joe, put them up in the East Wing of the White House. You want to do that? No, Nancy, you know what? Put them in your house. Walls don't work, remember? But Nancy Pelosi has walls around her house. This is the thing. We talk about the rules for thee and not for me all the time. But this is what is feasibly on the ballot in Iowa tonight. And this is going to be the first volley into which direction this country is headed. Personally, I think that Trump will win by around 30 points. Okay. If it comes in closer than that, which it might, because apparently the Democrats are all, because there's no primary for the Democrats, they've canceled primaries. Joe is being installed as the candidate. They don't want anybody running against him. So they're not even going to give anybody a chance. Joe Biden debating, that won't happen. Hell, they're keeping other candidates off the ballot. Gee, where have we heard that before? We'll make sure there's no Democrats running against him. So Joe's the only candidate. Then we'll do whatever we can to take the Republicans off the ballot. So Joe's the only candidate. Sounds a little bit like Russia to me. Well, there's an election today. Who are you voting for? Putin. Great. Are you voting for anybody else? Can't. There's nobody else on the ballot. Gee, does that sound like what the United States is trying to do? Or at least the DNC is trying to do? Yeah. But we get into it tonight, and it'll be interesting to watch how Iowans feel. Remember, the Democrats don't care. Iowa's not diverse enough. Oh, okay. So Iowa, because you're more of a predominantly white area, farmers, okay. We don't think your vote matters. It's basically what the DNC is telling you. If you live in Iowa, last time I checked, your vote matters as much as mine, or matters as much as Joy Behar's, or matters as much as Jeff Bezos's. Doesn't make a difference where you live in this country. You live in this country. Your vote matters. There's a bunch of people who say, I don't vote, it doesn't matter. Okay, that's your belief. It's completely flawed, but that's your belief. Do what you want. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. But here's the thing. If you have no say in the matter of who is running the country, you're still living in the country. So if you don't care who it is, then don't bitch at all when interest rates are too high, when you lose your job because it was shipped to China or India, when they raise your taxes. You couldn't be bothered to make your voice known for one evening. I guess I don't care to hear your voice for 4 years. Pinball out.